developments of education in the Philippines is strictly based on progressive history, diverse culture, and the demands of the society. In pre-Spanish era, their education is integrated in their way of living.
During the Spanish time, the Christianity spread in the Philippines and there is no state educational plans. In American period, the American missionaries are also called Thomasites, are the first teachers in the Philippines education. For example, the Philippine Normal University, which is first headed by the Thomasites.
During the Commonwealth period, President Manuel L. Quezon established basic and secondary education and promotes Filipino and vernacular languages.
During this Japanese era, many classes was disrupted because of the war, and he also promotes Nihongo, Filipino, and vernacular language.
During the term of Manuel A. Rojas, he offered rehabilitation for the country and basic education. In Elpidio Quirino's term, he continues Manuel A. Rojas' rehabilitation and of course the Americanization.
During President Ramon Magsaysay, his government focuses on the rehabilitation of the country's agriculture and forestry.
In Carlos P. Garcia's term, he promotes nationalism through Filipino First policy.
During the term of Quezon Macapagal, he focuses on land reforms and agriculture. During Ferdinand Marcos, which is the most controversial administration because of his martial law, but focuses on Philippine studies, in which he included the Kilusang Bayang Lipunan in history, the anti-Marxist idea, and the emphasis on Mapilindo, which is comprised of Malaysia, Philippines, and Indonesia.
President Francisco Aquino improves secondary education and promotes good manners and right conduct.
During Fidel B. Ramos' term, he continues to promote vocational courses and ASEAN society and culture.
During the term of Ejercito Estrada, he just focuses on science education. During Macapagal Arroyo's administration, she focuses on understanding by design, the K-12 framework, and the basic education curriculum.
Currently, President Noynoy Aquino implements K-12 because of globalization and promotes science and technology in the school systems.
Cultural homogeneity advances in science, information communications technology. There are two terms to remember. Cultural homogeneity. Cultural homogeneity means being in the state of having a homogeneous culture, means single culture. Second is ICT. ICT means the overall term for communication devices such as TV, printer, and computers.
To sum it up, homogenization in culture affects the 21st century learning with the help of the modern technologies that we have.
Preview. Innovative means and modes of works on globalization describes not only the different ways on teaching and learning in the realm of education, but also it highlights the efficiency of these different works, like the management of the people with diverse culture in the 21st century. It also highlights the role or importance of education in the demands of labor, like the hybrid learning or the open learning.
As the time goes by, the educational system is changing from teacher-oriented to student-oriented. Now the focus is students, so let it be.
Philippine Normal University, Ateneo de Manila University, University of the Philippines Diliman, and Miriam College. That's
Peace education is teaching for and about human rights, gender equality. It aims particularly in empowering the students with their individual levels to become an agent of peace and non-violence. Everyone should know that attaining peace is a human right. To reach peace, teach peace.
Preview.
Indigenous learning system in the Philippines. Indigenous learning system is a native way of educating group of people or tribes and in a certain place. And every group of people in the Philippines have their own system of learning and knowledge. Like for example, the indigenous group of people of the Ifugao, much often seen in their gatherings, tradition, custom, norms, or collective rites or rituals. And the indigenous children were taught orally, like for example, the literature, and were just passed generation to generation. And they are mostly embedded in lively activities such as pakot, wood carving, akor, weaving, topeng, stone crafting, and uman or genealogy mapping. The indigenous people value their culture and tradition, for it is their treasure.
Hi guys, you know what gender equality means? Gender equality is achieved when men and women enjoy the same rights and opportunities in all sectors of society, even in economic and decision making. It is when aspirations, behaviors, and needs of men and women are equally favored and valued. And now guys, what is gender equality in education? Gender equality in education is the rights of men and women to non-discrimination in educational opportunities and processes, like in subject content or learning content, assessment modes, learning outcomes, and management to peer relationships. You know guys, there are several international movements occurring around the globe, like United Nations Entity for Gender Equality and Women Empowerment, and one of the Millennium Development Goals is the promotion of gender equality and women empowerment. Thank you. Civic education is the knowledge and skills of a citizen in a particular state. Now, there are types of citizenship that are distinguished by the state. These are digital citizenship, transnational citizenship, global citizenship, and cosmopolitan citizenship. Multicultural education refers to any forms of education which incorporates people with different perspectives, being incorporated in many beliefs or different cultural backgrounds. So one of the examples of multicultural education is the United Nations celebration, which annually happens in October 24 in the Philippines. Population education is the awareness and consciousness of bad effects of population growth and its remedial measures. Their aim is to promote qualitative life of the people.
Sustainable development aims to sustain and develop the education system. One of its goals is to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education, and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. The Philippines has its own way on how they will help to sustain education system on our country. One of its projects is the K-12 curriculum for our graduates to be more equipped and competent to the world standards.
The aims and goals of transformative education provide an appropriate framework in which to create the teaching and learning processes. Transformative education holds that learning is understood through the use of prior interpretations of the meaning of one's experiences to construct a new and revised interpretation in order to guide future actions. With this, we can say that transformative education should be understood by oneself and cannot be instructed by others.
Future studies is the academic field which educators can be drawn on in order to aid for curriculum deliberations. In the Philippine settings, one of the example of future studies is the OBTEC or the outcomes-based teachers education curriculum, the Philippine Normal University, and the K-12 program. These future studies, examples of future studies, are the ones which will let the students as well as the teachers equipped to become competitive to many parts of the world.
Global education is an education that opens people's eyes and minds about the realities of the globalized world. It also awakens them to bring about a world full of justice, equity, and human rights for all.
Student-centered learning broadly encompasses the methods of teaching that shift the focus of instruction from the teacher to the student. In original usage, it aims to develop the student's autonomy and independence by putting the responsibility of the learning path into the hands of the students. It also aims to focus on the skills and practices that enables lifelong learning and independent solving.
Contextual learning is based on constructive theory of teaching and learning. So this concept is not a common concept and it is first proposed by John Dewey. So this learning takes place when teachers are able to present information in a way that students are able to construct meaning based on their own experiences. Contextual learning has 4 characteristics. First, it emphasizes problem solving. Second, interactive learning. Third, progressive learning. And fourth, experiential learning.
Holistic and integrated approach to education. Holistic education is a philosophy of education based on the premise that each person finds identity, purpose in life through the connection with the community, natural world, humanitarian values such as peace and compassion. The purpose of this education is to prepare the students to meet the challenges in life such as well as academics. Integrated approach to education enhances students in participating to related and meaningful topics. It also allows students to have a lifelong learning, have sufficient coverage, and know the curriculum in terms of expertise, sources, and items.
Lifelong learning and continuing education is an ongoing, voluntary, and self-motivated. The type of lifelong learning and continuing education are homeschooling, adult education, continuing education, and many more.
Spiral curriculum education states that a curriculum should revisit basic ideas
by building on them until students had reached its full formal concept. It is first formed in Jerome Bruner's theory of discovery learning, which posits that students learn best by building on their current knowledge.
International standards in education are the standards or the basis for comparison that was developed by international standards organizations. It was developed to facilitate comparisons in education statistics and to provide guideposts on how to report a national education data on international purposes. International standards in education have different organizations to provide standardization in education. First is the PISA, or the Program in International Student Assessment. Second is the TIMSS, or the Trends in International Mathematics and Science Study. And third is the QS, or the World University Rankings.
The first pillar is learning to know. It implies how to learn by developing one's concentration, memory skills, and ability to think. The second one is learning to do. It implies how learning must transform certified skill into personal competence.
Learning to live together. Education should help in inculcating a spirit of empathy of the students so that they can have a positive effect on their social behavior throughout their lives. People in the world should accept the difference but start working on the basis of the commonalities for the survival of humankind. Learning to be. The aim of this development is the complete fulfillment of man and his development in a holistic way as an individual, member of the family and community, and as a responsible citizen.
UNESCO defines literacy as the ability to identify, interpret, understand, create, communicate, and compute printed and written materials in varying contexts.
Responsible citizenship and good governance are two important factors in fueling economic and social development of a country. In Philippines, the government is investing in education, wherein they are implementing makabayans and values education subjects, and even citizens advancement training.
Millennium Development Goals, or MDG, are the 8 international development goals that were established following the Millennium Summit in the United Nations in 2000, following the adoption of the Millennium Declaration. At that time, all 189 UN member states and at least 23 international organizations committed and helped to achieve the Millennium Development Goals by 2015.
Reform, or PCER, holds all the information in education. In line with this, they were also able to make another reformation in education, which is EDCOM, or the Congressional Committee on Education, which is the line in the trifocalization of the subjects and institutions such as CHED and TESDA. EDCOM also reviews and assesses the Philippine education. These institutions are made so the Filipinos will be able to cope up with the worldly challenges.
Ministry of Education, Culture and Sports that was formed into Department of Education, Culture and Sports during the administration of Aquino was formed into trifocalization, meaning it will split into 3 parts. On 1994, it was formed the CHED or the CHED Act that was only focused on higher education curriculum, and the TESDA or the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority was focused only on education on vocational and technical education. And the other one, which is the Department of Education, Culture and Sports, was focused only on basic education curriculum and was formed in 2001 as Department of Education.
Education for All, or EFA, is the global commitment to provide the benefits of education to every citizen in every society.
Outcomes-based education is an educational theory that bases each part of an educational system around goals. By the end of an educational experience, each student should have achieved the goal.
Examples would be implementations. Philippine Normal University. Philippine Normal University implemented the outcomes-based education curriculum. The Philippine Normal University is the pioneer in implementing this curriculum. The students are required to produce an output to assess the knowledge they obtain in every term.
Mother tongue-based multilingual education refers to the use of a student's vernacular language with the addition of 2 or more languages being used by the teacher as a medium of instruction. Mother tongue-based multilingual education helps to preserve the language, culture, and of knowledge system of the students. It also helps the student to boost its confidence and self-esteem as he goes along with the class. It is one of the best tools in order to achieve the lifelong learning education. This educational system is applicable from kinder to grade 3. This helps the students to create a wonderful environment for them to cope with the different knowledges given by the teachers.
In Philippine government, in
In their